Hi and welcome to Bike Rider TV. I'm Kevin and today we're going to take you for a spin on BMW's new flagship tourer, the GT1600. So what makes this a flagship model? Well, it's a ground up rebuild. There's not a single nut, bolt or screw that's carried on from any other model. It's got one of the most stunning engines. They've spent 4 years developing this, incubated in their Munich development lab, and they've come up with an inline 6 shaft drive. It's got more bells and whistles than you can shake a stick at. The end result is simply stunning. Now what this double overhead cam inline 6 does is produce 170 brake horsepower, which is phenomenal in its own right. When you compare that with 170 Newton meters of torque, this thing is a cruise missile. Now the boffins in Germany have been doing their homework and there's some extremely clever touches on this bike. Keyless entry, if needed, to your panniers, lockable on the handlebar. Little things that just make life that much easier for all concerned. Why is my hand on the seat? Well, it's a bit cold here in Pyro and it's heated. Now there's been an awful lot of fuss made about BMW's adaptive headlight. Is it a gimmick or is this, to pardon the pun, the leading light of motorcycle illumination? We'll check it out. Now what it does is it uses 2 gyroscopes and it works out how hard you're cornering, the lean angle, your speed, and it directs that center light for where you want to go. So it's showing where you need to be going rather than riding into the dark spot. It's stunning, especially with the dual lever front suspension. You don't get the dive in the front end of this, even with a pillion. So you brake, you corner, you can see all the way around. It's absolutely fantastic. Now the protection from the elements on this thing, being a tourer, has got to be good. The BMW's case, it's stunning. It's got an electrically operated screen, which works even if you're a tall rider. And when you've got it up high, it leaves you and your passenger in this little cocoon of silence where you can talk to each other. You can listen to the stereo if you're not using your Bluetooth headsets, which this thing's all set up for, complete with an iPod charging dock built into the fairing. Listen to your favourite tunes, go down your favourite road, it's got to be good for you. If you're looking for a comprehensive dash, this is it. The GPS is part and parcel, it's removable, it's locked in by the screen. It has your regular speedo, your rev counter, but it also has your stereo operated by this neat little toggle switch, which is like using your computer mouse, so it's very, very easy to use on the fly. It also tells you your range, your fuel consumption, your tyre pressures, thanks to the natty sensors built into the wheels, as well as all sorts of other things. Your suspension adjustment, it has BMW's ESA or electronic suspension adjustment. You can set it up for solo riding, pillion riding, loaded with pillion, and then you have sport, normal or comfort. So it gives you lots of ways to tune your bike. And then it has 3 different modes. So you've got a rain mode which softens the curves so it's not going to light up coming out of the corners or going across wet paint. It's got your regular mode, which is nice for just cruising, smooth. Then you've got dynamic, and believe me, dynamic this thing is. You put it on that mode, open the tap, and it goes like no tourer really has any right to go. It is a benchmark motorcycle, and they've done it extremely well. If you're going to claim that your motorcycle is a leading edge, big bore tourer, then it's got to be fast, it's got to be smooth, and it must be comfortable. The BMW scores top marks in all 3 of these categories. It handles disturbingly well for a big bike. You notice the weight a little under brakes. It's over 360 kilos, so it's not a small motorcycle, but it handles more like something you'd expect 240, 235 kilos. It feels that good. That engine will push you forward at a serious rate of knots though, so you have to be careful. You come up to those corners, you do have to allow for the weight. Other than that, you could ride with much sportier models and you will not suffer. The open road's all very well and good, but every now and then you're going to come into suburbia. This thing will go down to 50 kilometers an hour, 2 up in top gear, that's 6th, and it won't burble, it won't snatch, it's smooth as silk. I mean, ideally, if you want to accelerate hard, you go down a cog or 2, but you can roll on in 50 k's an hour, 6th gear, 2 up, and it will just smoothly cruise away until it gets to about 3,000 RPM, and then it starts stretching your forearms. As with any motorcycle, it's got to appeal for you to part with your hard-earned cash. This bike does have appeal. It's nicely finished, it's very classy, and the sound that comes out of those 6-gun pipes is absolutely soul-stirring. It's fabulous. It sounds so sporty that you've got to look down to remind yourself that you're on a tourer. So if you're interested in BMW's new flagship tourer, or watching BRTV, you've got a little bit keen to find out more, either check out the November issue of Bike Rider magazine, we'll have the full test in there, or you can head down to your BMW dealer. If you want to walk away with one, it's going to cost you just under $45,000, which is undoubtedly a lot of money. On the flip side, it is an awful lot of motorcycle.